Hi, I'm Tim. Please join me in this video as we go through flight test kit of the Old Fogey foam board RC airplane. We'll do an unbox, talk about the kit. We'll go through a build and take it out for some test flights. Let's get to it.
Nice.
As a reminder, there are chapters down in the timeline if you'd like to jump ahead to another section of the video. So this is the Old Fogey. It's a foam board kit from the folks at Flite Test. I ordered this on my own. It was not given to me by Flite Test. I was interested in slow flying aircraft. This looked like a nice one based on the YouTube videos. It's based off of the Buzzard Bombshell, which was one of the early RC model airplanes. Back in the old days in the 50s, the planes were large because they were large motors. There weren't small motors. You notice it's a fairly short nose moment because the motors are pretty heavy. Something to keep in mind is you make an electric one, you're not going to have the distance for the center of gravity considerations. But because those early models had rudder-only control, they flew pretty well. They were almost free flight models that you guided by a single channel radio. So they tend to make good flying sport flyers. A slow flyer like this, big wing area, lightweight. The model weighs 1 pound, 2 ounces. I think it'll be a pretty good project to go with. Let's take a look at the Flite Test store where I purchased this kit online. Very good website. Let's take a look at that now. This is the Flite Test store. You can see all the kits they have available, good pictures of the various aircraft. You'll notice there are additional things you can do. Power packs, which I bought with this one. You can add a battery and charger. They've got a whole list of items for sale. Various accessories and other things to complete your model. So just take a look at that. See if that's something you want to do. I think the power packs are a good fit for the aircraft. This is the difficulty of build, good little graphic there, what type of batteries you can use. Then when you go down just a little bit more in detail on the model, the weight, center of gravity, things of that nature. Also at the bottom, you'll get to any associated videos. The left one is just the airplane flying. The one to the right is about a 21-minute video that you'll use to actually build the aircraft. Josh will take you step by step on how to build your Old Fogey. Let's now do an unboxing of the kit as it came in the mail. This is the flat pack that comes. This is the entire kit. This is the only printed material, just some general information. This is the Flight Pack B that is recommended for the Old Fogey. We'll open that here in a second. So that's everything with the plastic wrap. We take it off. This is the power pack. You can see 4 servos. We only need 2. Accessories for the motor, ESC, the motor itself. And in the accessory pack is a pretty good mounting scheme for the motor. 2 propellers, various wires, everything you need for the airplane. And again, this is the Flite Test printed material that gives some information on the kit. The Old Fogey is probably at least 9 or 10 years old. A lot of people have built it. There's probably plans out there somewhere for the model. The one that I got, there are no plans included, but there's very accurate laser cut of the foam board for the model. The laser cutting is important because as you fold and build it according to the Flite Test directions, there's a video guide. It's kind of a self-aligning jig mechanism that makes everything work out pretty closely. So there is a 21-minute instructional video from Josh. You can Google it. It's on YouTube. I have a link in the description. And if you go through that video, you'll get most of the details on building the model. There's just no plans on it. The kit does come with some extra bits and pieces. For example, these are some wheel pants. There were in some of the pictures on it. There's nothing on the directions how to do that. I elected not to do the wheel pants. Also, you'll see a power pod. It's kind of characteristic for a lot of the Flite Test models. The idea is you take this pod, put on a motor, the ESC, maybe some servos. It slides in and out of models. It's held in place with a decal, with a dowel. I elected not to do that. I just put in a regular firewall with my model. So the video is good. I kept an iPad where I was building it so I could see the video. You just go through it, and Josh will walk you through the basics of how to build the model. If the build video doesn't work, there is a section on the Fogey website where it has the video, but then it breaks it down frame by frame. So you can build it from the pictures there. You don't have to go through the video. So either one will work pretty good. I think the video is good, but this is a backup to that. At the bottom of this are some further details from what they used to design the airplane, CAD drawings for the aircraft with throws, and then a bunch of build plans for the landing gear and other things of interest if you want more detail on the model with, again, the CAD plans. Welcome to my build of the Flite Test Old Fogey foam board RC model airplane kit. This is what comes in the box. You order it from their Flite Test store. These are all the laser cut parts for the fuselage wing. The rudder surface literally fell out. They're very well cut. It's just part of the construction process to put all this together with a hot glue gun. We'll take that step by step. The other thing that came in the kit is this parts package here with various pieces of wood, dowels, music wire, and so forth. Control horns to include the music wire for the landing gear. You're going to have to bend the landing gear on your own. Now, the other thing that I want to show you real quick is, as part of the purchase, we saw this on the website with the Old Fogey. Flite Test has a habit pattern or a policy or procedure where they have a power pack that you can buy with your airplane. This is pretty handy. Good price. You'll get a brushless electric motor, electronic speed control, 4 servos, various mounting hardware, wire connectors. So if you just want to do that, which I did, it's a good match for the model. You'll have to supply the lipo battery and the receiver to get everything to work. So what I want to do now is connect all this electronic stuff, plug in a lipo battery. I just like to make sure the electronics work before I put it into the airplane. So give me a moment to hook this up, then we'll do a test of the electronics. So here are the flight electronics hooked up. The Old Fogey uses 2 servos for elevator and rudder, and of course the throttles are the electronic speed control. I'm using a Spectrum AR620 receiver. I like it a lot. It's got a push button for bind, and the antenna is built in, which is really nice. This is a 2-cell lipo battery from Thunder Power. I think that'll work good. The model and the ESC is designed for either a 2-cell lipo or a 3-cell lipo. We'll start with the 2-cell. This is the Flite Test motor with the Flite Test radial 2212. 150 kilovolt version 2, so that should provide plenty of power. The other thing I want to point out on the Flite Test electronic speed control that I haven't seen really anywhere else is they include 2 battery connectors. There's a JST connector here and an XT60 connector here. They're soldered to the same connection on the ESC. So it's kind of handy. 3-cell, probably better for the XT60. The 2-cell, I'm using the JST. That's just a handy feature. So here's my Spectrum DX6 transmitter, and what we'll do, we'll just take a quick look at the motor. That does work, and then the 2 servos for the rudder and elevator, that works fine. So everything works fine with the electronics. We've got all the foam board information down there. We'll review the construction video. We'll start with the wing, then we'll build the fuselage. So here are the foam board portions. You can see it's very accurately laser cut. The wheel pans that I'll not be using, but they're there if you want to use them. Everything very nicely laid out. And you can see the fin actually fell out. It was done so well. Stabilizer, an elevator, and then wheels if you want the foam wheels. The laser of the fuselage is very well cut. Again, it's a self-jigging mechanism, so that all helps to build a nice straight fuselage. There's the stab and elevator. The hinge is built in there. Josh has a method of using hot glue to make that a little bit stronger. Here is the wing center section with a brake for the dihedral. The wing tip is matched for the angle. Here's my setup. I have an iPad with a video on there so I can watch it, and I just build it step by step. Standard heat gun for putting everything together. And there is the brake in the wing tips with the proper dihedral angle with the included gauges for that. Once the glue dries, here's the tip with the proper angle put in place, and that fits right into the wing center section, which is shown over here. And here you'll see how the brake and the wingtip, once you lift it up to the proper angle, it just fits very nicely in place. Here's a completed wing with the two wingtips. It's a flat center section with the dihedral tips. That works out fine. And then here are the tail surfaces where you have to do a little bit of a bevel sanding to make sure that the rudder and elevator hinge have space to move. This is a fuselage all taken out. You have to take out some foam there to help with the bends. Again, Josh covers that in the video. It's just no big deal, just the way they build it. And then again, they have B and A folds. He'll walk you through all that. Again, the fuselage is held together by its paper, and then it just self-jigs itself. This is the front with the fuselage. The hatch will cover as well. The back of the fuselage is open. Here is the bottom, and then the tail surfaces just fit right in. One other important thing I'd like to point out when we test the electronic setup, obviously the three wires go to the motor, 2 wires to the battery. With any brushless motor, the 3 wires determine the direction of rotation. So when you power it up, you want to make sure the engine turns in the right direction. Viewed from the cockpit, it'd be clockwise. And if it's running in the wrong direction, the way any brushless motor can reverse the direction, you just take any 2 of the 3 wires and swap them out. That will reverse the direction. So what I like to do is put little markers on here, in this case masking tape and blue painter's tape, so when I take these apart, if I need to install the engine, I know to hook them up on the correct wires to have the correct rotation. So this is a completed wing. It's really about the simplest wing I've ever built, probably the one you've ever built, and probably the first RC model airplane wing I built. There's no wing spar, the spar that goes the length of the wing to make it strong. It's a fairly thick cord, obviously, width of the wing. It's not too big, and what happens, this ridge that forms kind of the airfoil has a stiffening functioning that gives it some measure of strength along with the tips. So it's actually pretty solid here. It doesn't do high-speed aerobatics, but that is the wing right there, so that is all complete. It goes together really quite well. The fuselage is here. Again, you saw the construction videos, how that went together. I think that went together well. It looks straight. So the next step tomorrow is to add the tail surfaces, figure out the engine installation, and then tackle the landing gear to see how that goes. In line with that, we have made the fin and rudder with the glue method described in the video to make it a little bit stronger on the rudder there, and then the elevator's right here, and that should be a good fin. So that's what we did today, and then we'll make some more progress tomorrow. This is the motor, the included firewall that comes with the kit. And again, you can see it's a very easy mounting thing for the Flite Test motor. This plywood fuselage is very nice, but it's built for the power pod. It just doesn't fit in. This is the wire bending jig that I use for the landing gear wire. I have a very good video on this, link in the description on how to bend the music wire. Just a little bit of practice. This is the bending jig right here, the finished landing gear. I think it came out pretty good. It's 3/32 inch wire. You do need a jig for that. The rudder's in place as shown here with the tail skid. Here the horizontal surfaces are in place. It just simply glues onto the bottom there. No big deal. Next, the included plywood control horns are hot glued in place, and they fit just fine there. And then finally, the included popsicle sticks, we glue those to the wing leading and trailing edge so the rubber bands don't dig into the foam. This is a must-do. This is the firewall that I built. That's the proper width of the fuselage. And again, I use bolts just to put that in place. Again, it's a huge fuselage, so no big deal there. We just glue it into place with 1/8 inch plywood fore and aft to just make sure it's secure. Made very good progress with the Old Fogey today. As you saw, the one thing on the wing, I put the popsicle sticks with hot glue on both sides just for the rubber bands. So the wing is done on that. The fuselage is here. You saw it going through stages. We put in the control rods. Tomorrow I'll put in the servos in the appropriate places to connect those up. We've got the dowels for the wing. The landing gear was a little bit tricky. The one thing for the landing gear I wanted to point out is when you practice, it's a little bit tricky bends because it goes forward on the landing gear, okay? And what I do is I practice with 1/16 inch music wire, or you can use a coat hanger, very easy to bend with pliers, to see where the bends go. If you use the wire bender like I did, it'll make it a lot easier. The rubber bands hold it in place, there'll be more when we fly. And so everything is really all set. The one thing I'm going to have to keep in mind is it's already coming out just balanced about right. So I'm trying to keep the weight as far forward. It's very easy to add weight to the rear if needed, to keep it with the center of gravity. So good progress so far. It's come along fine, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow with a servo installation. This is the tape I used to do the paint. I just used simple hobby acrylic paints. Kept the white, added some red just to make it look a little bit better. I've powered up the model. We'll do a power on check here in a minute. I'll leave the wing off because it's a kind of small building area here. The center of gravity balances correctly, and that's just something you have to do. It's right where the bend is in the wing here is the center of gravity. That works fine. So it's a 3-channel model. We can see the elevator and back. This is up elevator, down elevator, then rudder, left and right. And then we will turn it away. And I think that should be sufficient power with the 2-cell lipo. So everything looks okay. The control surface is okay. Everything looks fine. We'll just wait for some good weather. The next time I'll see you out at the RC field. We're at the field for a test flight. Again, just the fuselage and wing, pretty simple. Wind looks good for the test flight. Demetrio is coming in for a landing from his plane, and then I'll be cleared to try the takeoff for my test flight of the Old Fogey. Here the plane is assembled, and again the open fuselage. These are the control throws, and this is about half what I had originally. I had full throws. You need about a 1/4 inch up and down. It works a lot better. So everything's plugged in. We'll go ahead and take it out to the flight line for a takeoff. And off we go. So plenty of power on the 2-cell battery. Still feeling out the controls. I had too much control initially with the full control throws. About a 1/4 inch is fine. The center of gravity is in the proper place, and what I'm going to do on future flights is add a little bit of exponential thrust in that. I think it will help. But it's got plenty of power with the 2-cell. It handles well. I've just got to, I think, reduce the control throws a little bit more. And here we are for the first landing. A second flight, we just did a quick circle around the pattern. Again, plenty of power to take off. And we climb out, do a left-hand turn, and we come in for a landing. And again, very happy with the airplane.
Nice.
Just came back from the test flights with the Old Fogey. Very happy with the outcome. Another look at the model. I'll go ahead and take the wing off now because we're inside. So a learning point for me in the build video with Josh, he was very clear that you don't want a lot of control throw on the elevator and rudder. So my habit pattern, especially with slower flying trainer type models like this, I put in a fair amount of throw just so I have that available if I need it. Just the way this thing is set up, I think with a wide chord wing and just a fairly short tail moment, I took off, and the first flight was very twitchy with that full control throw. It really caught me by surprise. I did not anticipate that with a slow flying model like this. So I got it back down, and I just reduced the control throw by about half. So really, instead of going up a 1/2 inch, it was about a 1/4 inch. And it settled down much better after that. The center of gravity is fine. You can see what it's flying around. I still have a little bit more trimming to do to make it fly completely right. But that was a takeaway for me. I had never really thought that that was a necessary thing to do. For sure in this one, just about a 1/4 inch control throw up and down is going to be about right. But the model has good power with a 2-cell battery. There's no problem in that. We took off from the ground. There's no problem. It handled well. So I'm looking forward to a few more flights, trim it out, and just continue flying with the Old Fogey. So fun kit to build, very affordable, flies well. Good luck with yours.